And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar right here on BearcatJournal.com. Go see our good friends at Hail Mary's. They're located in Cheviot. They're on Harrison Avenue, so they're inside the Dora District. You can go from bar to bar with your drinks, or you can just hang out at Hail Mary's. They've got 27 TVs, a 9-screen video wall, the DirecTV Sports package, so you can watch all the games, and Cincinnati sports, including the Reds, getting your late night fix out on the West Coast. They'll always be on the 9-screen video wall. They have a brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines, food trucks on the weekend, and of course, ice cold Cincy Light on tap in a 32.8 degree frosted glass. All right, we are live to tape. Aaron is what they call it in the industry. We are live to tape in the Cincy Light studios. This is a topic that got a lot of run earlier in the week. We've been a little busy. It was our plan to do this topic last night.
This is a lot lighter than last night.
It's a lot lighter than last night's topic. Tony Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner, has he can't seem to find common ground with the SEC on the format of a potential 14 or 16 team playoff. So he has gone back to the drawing board, and he has come out with new proposals for potentially 24 to 2018 playoff.
What are we doing here?
Including, I believe, the 2014. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the 2014 format. No, this is the 2018 format. 7 Big Ten teams, 7 SEC teams, 5 Big 12 teams, 5 ACC teams, 2 Group of 5 teams, and then for whatever fucking reason, 2 more at-large teams on the back. I guess that's so Notre Dame has a spot every year. Is that the Notre Dame thing?
Just for funsies.
Aaron, what are we doing? What are we doing?
If you had a playoff, I mean, think about this. If you had a playoff that was that many teams, you're at this point running a playoff that takes half as long as your regular season. Literally half as long as your regular season.
Yeah.
What I get it. I get it. You want to go to bat for half of your league because nobody's good outside of the top 3 teams every year anyway. We already know that. So you want to spread them 4.
I'll give them 4. Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Oregon. Those 4, typically those 4 are pretty good.
Well, typically Penn State's ranked. I wouldn't say they're pretty good. That remains to be seen. Do it in the big game. Anyway.
They've won 1 big game in James Franklin's entire tenure at Penn State.
Like I said. So, I get it. You want to spread the wealth. And, you know, the SEC, they've hinted around, of course, wanting to do the same. But they're not being nearly as aggressive. And maybe it's because they don't have to. Because the Big Ten is the one out here looking like just showing their ass, really. I mean, I don't understand what the end game is when you're talking 24 to 28 teams in a college football playoff that 5 years ago had 4 teams playing and 2 decades ago just had 2.
Well, 2 decades ago had 0. It was just bowl games. Like there was no championship game.
20 years ago, you had a national championship.
When was okay? Right at, I guess, 20, like roughly 20, 23 years ago, you had bowl games. Like whenever the BCS started, or they, you know, whatever there was whenever that was. It feels like this is me getting old. It feels like that was more recent than 20 years ago. But the point still stands. I just don't. What's the end game here? Like, what the public is already And I've kind of scoffed at all the backlash over the NCAA tournament, like 72 or 76 or whatever, like 76 or 80 or like who you're already at 72 or 68. Like if you go to 72 or 76, like is it really going to change anybody's day that there's like 4 extra basketball games on Tuesday and Wednesday before the NCAA tournament? No, I don't really think so, but I get it. You don't want to mess, people don't want to mess with it. But my point being, look at the public outrage over that. And look at what we got like in the first college football playoff, Aaron. Why can't we just find out if 12 works?
Which we've only had one of thus far.
Right. Why can't we just find out if 12 is the right number?
And now we're trying to double it.
Plus, maybe double it plus with no empirical evidence that 12 is even a good number for this thing, because they already took 12 and changed it and took away the actual reward for winning your conference, that you get a bye in the first round. That's already gone. And now it's true seeding. That's not seeding, it's selecting. There's a difference. They're not seeding, they're selecting the top 4 teams. Like it's an invitational, essentially. And now we're gonna blow this thing up, double it, and make it 24.
We're gonna water it down so bad. So well, and it's not even the top 24 teams at that point in the country. It's the top 7 in one league, the top 7 in the other league, the top 5 in another league, and top 5. Like that's not even, truthfully, not even your top 24 teams.
So, no, almost half of the Big Ten, almost half of the SEC, a third of the Big 12, and a third of the ACC. Who wants that? That's the question. Who actually wants to watch that?
Well, how are you going to tell these kids that you have to now play 5 more weeks?
The kids, they're getting paid. The kids are fine. The kids are fine. I'm not worried about the kids.
You got guys who are preparing for the NFL draft that have to play now 5 more weeks. And let's not kid ourselves. There's going to be injuries and such. You're going to have people who sit out. You will say what you want, but you will still have people who sit out.
I'm that's, maybe people will care about that. The only thing I would say is
that's a lot of weeks of football. That's a lot of weeks of football.
It is, but they're making good money. Like they
you
can
only
play
12 in the regular season, though.
Okay,
you play 12, and now we're playing 5 more weeks just for playoffs. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
If they implement, that's not that. I just don't think that's, of all the things to like pound the table about, that's not it. The kids will go play football. They're football players. They're professionals essentially now. They'll go play football for a chance to win a championship. Who wants it? Who is clamoring for this? What fans are like, man, if we were just at 24.
There's one person who wants it. Now,
the guy running the Big Ten.
I have read that somebody in the know said that essentially this plan is completely half-baked and it doesn't have much legs to it. But of course you run this headline if you have this information, because why wouldn't you? Absolutely. I mean, because it's so far-fetched, because it's so ridiculous to think that you should have, in a game that you only rank the top 25 teams, which again, you're going to have teams that are ranked somewhere around 36,
maybe, yeah,
40.
Well, like, especially when you get to, if you have to put five Big 12 and ACC teams,
that's what I'm saying.
There's, yeah, like you're gonna, because of the way the polls work, you know this, like there's gonna be 7 SEC and Big Ten teams hanging around the top 25.
See, but my fear is what you're doing is introducing this to eventually get to the point where you're like, We were wrong. We like the number now where we're
We'll
at.
do 20.
Well, why don't we keep it as is? But now we're going to go to Big 12 and ACC haven't been well represented, so we'll give you guys 3 each, and we'll just take on, because we're always ranked there anyway. We'll just take on those additional 3 spots for the Big 10 and the SEC, and now you got 10-10, 3-3, and I that's what I think. Truthfully, is your end game is you want to introduce the number to get used to the number, and then you want to steal the spots.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's gonna I don't think that you can't desensitize people to the number when nobody even thinks that
Wants the number.
right. Like you can that works if everybody's like, yeah, you're right. We probably should be around 2014 in the college football playoff. No, you shouldn't.
That's more than the NFL.
Yeah. It's more than any professional sport. Now, Dave got it right when he was talking about it the other day, and he said Petiti comes from pro sports. So he wants a pro sports model, which means a certain percentage of your teams should make the playoff. So he wants a certain percentage of the Big Ten in a pro sports model to be eligible for the playoff, and then to make it swallowable.
Make money.
Well, not that, but I'm saying to make it swallowable. Then if the number that the Big Ten feels like they need to get as a percentage is 7, well, then the SEC needs to get 7, and then we have to create a number that keeps that gets the Big 12 and the ACC in line with agreeing to do what we need to do. Like again, this has been my talking point, like with the SEC, although some of the stuff in the SEC, like I look, do I think their commissioner's a goof? Yeah. But a lot of what he has said and done has been and he's been open about it. My job is to do what's best for the SEC. You asked me my opinion on this, and this is what's best for the SEC. Well, sir, that's not what's best for college football. And he's like, nobody's paying me to do what's best for college football. Petiti's potentially trying to do what he thinks is best for the Big Ten, but his ideas are just bad. And nobody goes, I get it. I get where he's coming from. Nobody gets where he's coming from.
I just wonder at that point, if you got 20 teams, 24 teams, 28 teams, whatever the number ends up being. Well, sure, that's a great question, but I just wonder if somebody feels like they got a bad beat or there was a bad call, how many more claimed national championships we're going to end up with because somebody just felt like they didn't get something that should have gone their way, and now we just got teams out here claiming national championships because you can do that and then put the banner right on your wall.
Well, I guess what this is, right, is there's a newer metric.
Why wouldn't there be?
There's a newer metric that has gone back over all the old past seasons, and they've run their computer model, and that computer model spun out a bunch of championships that were different than the AP or the coaches poll or whatever. And of course, Auburn, who has an inferiority complex because of Alabama, and they want their number to look something similar to Alabama's number.
Who's also
Auburn's like, yeah, we're going to take those. We'll take those. Those are ours. Those are our championships. What they had 7? They're now claiming 7 national championships that
9-time total, according to their Twitter profile.
But I mean, come on.
They've already put the years on their ribbon around the stadium. They added those years. I don't understand what. How do you have a governing body who doesn't recognize you as a champion, but you can just come out here and say, you know what? No, we were, and put it on your stadium.
Well, Billy Bob
UCF.
Billy Bob did something new, and we have decided that his metric counts.
UCF did the same thing just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I don't know how we got to this point in college football, but here we are. 2018 playoffs and claim your championship.
Auburn's adding 7. Can the Bearcats get one? Do we get one? Can we go the UCF route? Hang the banner?
There's probably a year somewhere back there in the 1900s somewhere that you can just say
probably not. You'd have
early.
you'd have to find a way. You'd have to find somebody that would find a metric that made you champions in like the Pike to Ben's year.
Jimmy Nippert was on that team.
Anywho. All right. The Big Ten's stupid. That's going to wrap it up. We'll see you next time. That's the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!